Hello everyone, this is Linkimus Prime and welcome back to part 3 of my 13-part review series. Today we are taking a look at the Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager class Alpha Trion. Now I am going to say I was initially disappointed when this was first revealed because I was hoping for a bit more of a definitive feeling Alpha Trion. This is actually based off of his appearance in the G1 episode where the aerial bots travel back in time. And, it's the episode with Orion Pax and Ariel and, so this was, his younger appearance from that episode. And having it in hand, it's definitely a lot better. I like this a lot, and it does a lot that I really enjoy. But I do wish we still could have gotten maybe a more, older looking definitive Alpha Trion, but this is still fine. But anyways, let us move right into the review. Now, taking a look at the figure itself, he looks very, very nice. Now, his proportions do look a little bit strange. I think he has a little bit of a case of gorilla arms, and that just isn't the best looking to me. His chest is a bit flat looking, and he has a backpack. I'm not too upset about the backpack because this looks more like a cape, which I think he should always have. So I'm not going to be upset about that. But yeah, proportionately, he's okay. He doesn't have the beard because, again, this is based on his younger appearance in that one episode of G1. And I do have a few other issues that I will touch on later in this review. But looking at the detailing, that does look good. I love all of the sculpted detail. It looks very nice. Lots of mechanical details going on all around the figure. The colors on this look very good. We have some metallic purple plastic that pretty much at least half of the figure is molded in, which looks really good. We have some nice maroon coloring right here for majority of the body. We have some silver paint for the face and for the chest and the forearms, as well as the feet. And then we also have some silver paint right here on these sides as well. We got some nice metallic blue for the eyes, as well as some white paint for this section right here on the face. And they also did paint the top of the head in a very similar kind of metallic maroon as they did on Vector Prime. But yeah, so lots of nice paint applications here, and I do really enjoy the way that this looks overall. But yeah, proportionately, he's okay. He's okay. Now, a few issues that I do have with this. This purple plastic, it feels good, but there are areas where it's stressing a lot. It's stressing here, not so much on the other side, thankfully. It is stressing here at the segment where the hands fold in, as well as on the other side. It's also stressing on these little nubs right here, as you can see. So yeah, I'm kind of concerned for the longevity of the purple plastic. So yeah, I'm not too happy about that. Now, when it comes down to articulation, we do have a swivel at the head, which allows it to rotate all the way around, as well as look down and look up that far, mainly for transformation. It's weird, he also has this extender thing right here. I don't think that does anything. I think that's just an assembly thing that just happens to do that for some reason. So there's that. Full rotation at the arms, they can move out that far and in that far, and the little shoulder pads are also on a hinge. There is a swivel at the bicep, little more than 90-degree bend at the elbow, no swivel at the wrist, which really does kind of mark this down for me a few points, so that kind of sucks. Due to transformation, though, he does have a little bit of inward movement, but that's not really going to do much. And of course, we have our opening hands that I'm really happy that they've kind of normalized this for certain Voyagers, so that is very nice. Due to the transformation as well, if we move all of this out of the way, he actually has an ab crunch. So that's really cool. I actually do really dig that. But yeah, so he has an ab crunch. He can rotate at the waist, but it works a lot better if you, I'm just gonna bring that up. If you remove this whole kind of slab section here, and there is a lot more range, and I will get to this in a moment. I'm just going to throw that off to the side for now. But yeah, so that's really about it for that. And then the legs can't kick forward that much, and back all the way if you move all of that out of the way. Of course, the side skirts here can move, swivel at the thigh, leg can kick out that far. More than 90-degree bend at the knee, and then we do have an ankle pivot, which does lock into place. Again, I'm not very fond of that sound. That that is horrid. Anyways, and then the foot can also kind of move up and down due to transformation. So that's pretty much about it when it comes to the articulation. So it does some stuff that I like, but it is lacking some things that I wish it had. Now, when it comes down to his accessories, we do have a few things here. I'm going to start off with this. This is the little kind of back cape piece that he has, and there is actually a few ways to attach this. The way the instructions tell you to attach it is like this, but I think that looks weird. So I personally just fold this back and I utilize this little tab right here. Flip all of this out like so, and just align that with this like that. Fold that down, and that looks a lot better to me because that looks more like a cape, how it should. So, and he is supposed to have a short cape, so that is more accurate, but that is just something I did want to kind of point out. But this actually does something else. So if you untab this, which I should mention, there are more stress marks here, which is fantastic, and then just bring them around and tab them in, you have a shield. And I think that's awesome. So you can have him kind of port that in there like so. There's actually two tabs. There's a second port right here for the hand. So you just line all that up, tab that in, and there you go. He has a shield. I think that's really cool. And then for the main accessories, we do have the quill, which is his main prime artifact. This is a pen that he uses to write in the Covenant of Primus. But it is also technically a dagger, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, he can hold it just like that. And that is a pretty cool looking weapons lineup. It is a little hard to get in the hand, but there we go. And yeah, I mean, that's something you can do, and I think that looks really cool. But yeah, there's that. And then finally, we have the Covenant of Primus, and this thing is definitely one of my favorite Prime accessories just because of how unique it is. I've never seen an accessory that's a literal book. I think I have it upside down. But yeah, so you open it up, you have like a little thing right here that you can like, it's like a tape deck recorder, which is kind of cool. But there is some printing right here, I believe, of Cybertron right there. And then you open it up, you flip the page, which is really cool. Nothing on that side, but you have some Cybertronian wording right here. I don't know what this says. I understand a few letters in Cybertronian. I know this like letter that looks like a 2 is the letter A. So I'll decipher that later. Then, of course, we have Alpha Trion's symbol right here, which is really cool. And then there is one more page to flip, but there's nothing really there. So that's still really cool, though. I've never seen an accessory like this. It's a literal book. But yeah, so that's the Covenant of Primus. That's awesome. And of course, you can pose him like writing down in the Covenant, which is awesome. And just for a quick comparison, here he is with the other two primes that I reviewed in the exact order as they should be, and they look fantastic together. But anyways, I feel like I've talked about the figure as much as I wanted to, so let us get down to the transformation. Also, I almost completely forgot this one accessory that he does come with. He does come with a clear red Autobot logo with some nice silver paint on it, but it does just kind of store right here in the center. I don't think about it too much because it's just a thing. And here we have Alphatron in his alt mode, and it's another slab. Although I will say it definitely looks a lot better than the previous Alpha Trion that we got from that 2-pack. And yeah, I mean, it looks a lot better. I mean, we have more detailing going on here. It definitely feels more like Alpha Trion than just say like a purple and maroon Scourge. But yeah, it looks pretty nice. I do like all the painted detailing here, just kind of throughout the body. Everything seems a lot more evenly distributed than it did on Vector Prime. And I do really like this, you know, metallic clear red. This is just regular clear red plastic over some silver paint, and I really like the way that looks. Of course, his head is poking out a little bit, so that is, you know, kind of a funny thing, I guess. But overall, it does look pretty cool. Nothing too much on the bottom. It's not too kibbly, luckily, but you can just kind of tell, like, maybe these are arms, of course, so there's that. But yeah, overall, I think it looks interesting, and it does what it needs to do. It doesn't really do anything else, but yeah, that's pretty much about it. And for my final comments on this figure, I'd say that he definitely met a few expectations, met a few disappointments, but also still managed to surprise me. I do enjoy this figure. I don't think it's the best of the primes, but he does what he needs to do, plus a little bit more, so I have some appreciation for that alone. But I think he does a pretty good job for being an Alpha Trion figure. And I really like the inclusion of the Covenant of Primus. I think the flippable pages is an awesome thing. I do maybe wish he could have come with like one other accessory so that it doesn't look like, you know, he's just holding a pen and a shield when he's fighting alongside the other, you know, 12 primes. But hey, it's not a huge deal. He looks pretty good. He feels pretty good, although I'm still kind of worried about the plastic over time, so hopefully that doesn't end up becoming some kind of concern down the line. But overall, I do really like this figure. But anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.